And Jake is going to record this. So tonight we are going to be talking about AI in real estate. So I would love to open this up for a very quick conversation on what are your first thoughts when you hear AI?
Chat GPT.
Chat GPT, yes.
Scripting.
Scripting. What else?
Emails.
Emails. There's so many things you can do with it. We're going to talk about that tonight.
I'm curious what you mean by scripting.
Like you can have Chat GPT or any of the other, gosh, what's the new one? Gemini or whatever. If you give them the topic, like you can detail it out completely, give them the topic, say, I want this to be like a 30-second script, do it in 10th grade reading level, whatever. And it'll literally list out a perfect script. You can change it a little bit because it's still, I mean, it oftentimes resorts to like wordy words and it seems a little intimidating. So I always just change it a little bit to make it a little bit more relatable, approachable. But I mean, it makes your life a lot easier.
Yes. So you are pro AI, it sounds like, or at least in real estate.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I wanted to just open it up because, I mean, I could tell you my random thoughts about AI. I'm concerned it's going to take over our whole world. We're all going to be out of a job. Like I can have all those crazy thoughts. But I also feel like it is a piece of technology. And if we don't embrace it and everyone else is, their stuff could just be that much better than ours. But I know a lot of people have, some negative thoughts towards it. And what I want to show you tonight is the positive things that it can work for us in real estate. So I found it interesting. My daughter is just graduating from college in 2 weeks. And and she is currently in an AI class. And it's very interesting because for AI class, they encourage her to use AI and AI grades their work, whatever they're doing, and they can get a different grade every single time. And then it's encouraged to go back on AI and get a different grade. And so it's amazing how it just changes, like it changes so fast. I guess that could be another con to that as well. But we're going to talk about tonight how the things it's going to do to help us in real estate. So I'm going to show you guys. So I mentioned this on the morning call today, but we do have playbooks for just about everything that Keller Williams teaches. So we're going to be going off of the AI playbook for real estate agents. And again, this is something you can get a copy of. I can send this to you tonight. So thank you for showing up. This will be your treat. But I just wanted to start with, according to the 2022 technology survey conducted by NAR, 42% of real estate agents believe that over the next 24 months, AI will be somewhat or very impactful to their day-to-day operations of their business. Although there are differing opinions as to what the long-term implications of AI will be in the industry, we do know that as it sits today, AI can be a powerful productivity tool that can save you time and help do activities that you may or may not be good or enjoy doing. So I guess we've kind of already given that disclaimer, but I love that that's in here too. We don't know the long term of what this is going to be. All we know is what we can do with it today. So you can think about AI as a productivity tool that uses large amounts of data plus models, algorithms, plus prompts to produce a desired work product. So I'm just curious. I'm assuming everybody knows what AI is. I shouldn't do that. Does anybody not know what AI is or what we're talking about? We probably want to make sure everybody at least knows what we're talking about there. Has everybody used it? Has everybody tried using AI? Got some head nods. Okay, awesome. So yeah, I love that Elise said chat. You've never used it.
Never intentionally used AI, nor will I ever plan to.
No, you should.
Yeah.
Chat GPT is great.
Nope.
Yes, I remember sitting, I think it was after a family reunion. I remember being in a car and I was with a super tech oriented agent. And I said the same thing. I was like, I would never use AI. And they were playing with chat GPT. And when he showed me, he created a bio, he created a listing presentation, he did all of this stuff, and he did it in 3 seconds in the backseat of a car. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I will pay attention.
Jake, it's inevitable like Thanos.
Listen, no.
No.
It's inevitable.
Our software has it, but like a while back, someone said, hey, can you write a review for me? I'm like, sure. So I just went AI, said write a review for this, and they put it up, copy and
just-
pasted, shoved it in. It was awesome.
I
Yes.
feel like it's a slippery slope, and I'm not on board yet.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
all
not-
about efficiency.
It is.
All about
And-
efficiency.
You know, that's such an American thing to say. Yeah.
Yes.
But that's not today's class. Today we're learning.
No, but I think it's,
AI
I
will
think it's important to kind of
create
get the,
leverage for,
the feel
estate
of what we're
agents.
doing. Yes.
but I just know it's going to take away jobs, and I'm not ready to support it yet.
Got it. Got it. So just on here, like I already mentioned, so in our interviews, we found that the most common uses for AI for real estate agents will fall into 3 buckets. So one is drafting content, which I think is for me, one of the very most important or the very most helpful for me right now. Crafting conversations. That's what Ryan said. And that is the first time that I personally have heard people doing that. Ryan, you were here on Wednesday. And somebody was asking, how do you make your text, how do you write your text so it doesn't sound like you're a robot? Or somebody was like that, like a pre-generated text. And yeah, and Ryan said, get on Chat GPT and tell it to do the conversation to a 9th grade education level. And it's just going to kind of make it more, what would you say the word is? Just more relatable.
Personable, yeah, personable.
Personal, relatable to the masses. Yeah. So I have never used it in creating a conversation, and I love that idea because we're constantly texting people, constantly creating emails. So that's something I haven't tried yet, and I'm excited to do that.
Yeah, it's like if you're ever unsure about what to say in any scenario, you can use it for any scenario, seriously. Like we had a long story short, we had a challenging email come in one time, and it was like we had no idea how to respond to it. And we used Chat GPT, and it made it so much easier because it strips the emotion out of it and just takes all the context. And it's like a perfect response because it's just based on data
Yeah.
instead of
So-
emotion.
Would you say that when you are crafting these conversations and scripts and all of that and emails, are you using Chat GPT? Is that the most common one that you're using?
Yeah, just because I already have a login with it, but I've used Gemini before, and it should be just as easy. I would imagine any platform will be just fine.
And are you using the free version or are you paying for it?
Free.
Okay. Yeah, 3.5 is free. So first action for everybody except for Jake is to download the Chat GPT app so that you have it at your disposal and you can use it at any time. I've only used the free one as well too, and I find it works just as good as probably anything else. I haven't needed to upgrade it. So definitely use that so you have it with you. And then the other the other bucket. So connecting AI to other tools. So setting up automation, taking notes, all of that. So I'm sure you guys have started to see on Zoom that it will say somebody's otter is taking notes for you. And I love that. I don't know if you guys have tried that yet. But basically when you're doing a Zoom meeting, so like a CE class or something that's 3 or 4 hours on Zoom can be a long time. So if you can go on there and you have Chat GPT or whoever it is, taking notes for you, that makes it so much easier. A lot of people used AI during family reunion to create notes. Do you know if Liz did that? I feel like she took a lot of notes. No? Okay. We have some really good notes from family reunion that was taken basically using another system that's using AI. Our systems, just so you know, is integrated with AI as well. So like Command, all of that, really everything is. If you think about it, when you go on to Amazon and you look for something and then all of a sudden it follows you everywhere you're going, you're on Facebook, all of a sudden the thing you looked for but didn't buy pops up, that's AI. And so using that to our benefit as far as real estate is concerned into our systems is very helpful. So it basically can see what our clients, anybody on social media, what they're looking at, and it can start to predict with us in our system, letting us know, hey, this person potentially could be looking to purchase a home. So that's kind of how it integrates into other systems. And so I definitely see where that's going to be a big thing with real estate.
I do have one warning with the outdated chat GPT, just real quick.
Okay. Yeah.
If you're searching for ways to like anchor back on reasons why to buy, it still thinks we're in COVID market. So just be careful with that, because clearly it's not historically low interest rates and 20 offers on every home.
Now I'm double checking mine. So everybody make sure you have the most up-to-date chat GPT.
And I think the one that you have, the one that's up to date, I think is a paid. I don't know. I'm cautious with what it spits out. So I actually read the data. If it doesn't make sense, then I tweak it. So
That's
don't
good
just always
advice.
copy and paste. I would just read it beforehand and then copy and paste.
Ryan also has trust issues. Just kidding.
I heard the data between 3.5 and 4 is like unmeasurable. Like 4 has so much more data, like trillion compared to like billion. I mean, it's so 4 definitely has much more information.
Oh my gosh.
But you
Okay.
pay for it. It's like the monthly service.
That is the one you pay for. How much do you pay for it per month? Do you know?
20
Or
bucks, 25 bucks a month.
20, 25 bucks a month. So yeah, so I mean, at this point, you're gonna have to determine how much you use it, if that makes sense for you. But good advice, don't just copy paste. I like to, and we'll kind of go into this, but I like to get things, read through it, and then I will insert emojis. I will change different things. So I think it's a good starting point. I definitely don't think it's a good copy paste. So I'm glad you brought that up.
You should always read your emails before you send them.
Yes. Yes, definitely read your stuff before you send it. Okay, so AI for real estate. So number one, we want to pick your AI tool. So we've talked a lot about Chat GPT. I'm not familiar with the other one, Gemini. Is that the Android version? I know that there's like
That's
a Google.
Google. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Google. What other ones have you guys heard of? Any others? Just Chat GPT. That's really what most people use. Okay. And then creating your prompt. So number one, when you're creating your prompt, and this is what took me a little while to actually figure out, is how to use it, right? So this is how you're going to use it. So you want to identify the audience, you want to set the tone and the style, and use proper formatting. So Ryan, I feel like you're kind of one of our experts. I'm going to keep picking on you. So when you go in here and you basically identify the audience, are you saying something like, hey, I need this for first-time home buyers, or I need this for property investors?
Yeah, or realtors or clients, whatever it is. Or I just do it like as a general statement just to the public if I want to send it out to multiple parties.
Okay.
So
those would
yeah,
be
I will specify.
Okay. So some good audience, you guys are going to be using like buyer, seller, yeah, general public, anything like that. So identify your audience and then set the tone and style. So the way that like Ryan mentioned it, so setting the tone and the style could be a casual formatting, 9th grade education. What other tones and styles has anybody used in creating their prompt? How else would you say that?
If you use it a lot, it'll kind of start to like if you say, I really liked the way you put that, or like I liked that phrase, or I liked that thing, it'll start to catch on what you like and kind of what your voice sounds like. And so I've been using it for a few months, even just with my other job, and I can say like, make this sound like something I would say, and it'll like completely change it to something a little bit more approachable, like something you would say. Because if you're not normally using like big extravagant words, you don't want to put out there that you're saying all these big extravagant words when you actually just don't use those normally.
I love that. So if you're using it a lot, you can say, make this sound like me, or something like that. And it gets used to how you sound. I love that. And then proper formatting. So, are you looking for something that you're going to put into an email? Are you looking for something that's more of like a text message? Because I do know it is going to give you like emojis and things like that. If it's maybe for a text versus an email, that would be different. So make sure you tell it what kind of formatting you're trying to create this for.
Also ChatGPT will, if you say like, make this an Instagram post, it'll actually add in some familiar hashtags too into there. So you can add those on so you get more views for your posts.
I love that. I love that. I've started noticing that with a service I use for Instagram and posting on social media, that they use AI in all of it. So it'll give you something, and then you can click, I want to use AI, and it will integrate that in there too. So love that. And then review and improve. So the big thing here is I use this a lot in helping agents create their bios. And I know that sounds so silly, but I help people. I'm like, okay, the first thing we need to do is set up your buyer guides and your seller guides. We've created everything for you. It's plug and play. And there is a little paragraph that says bio. I cannot tell you how many people will get stuck on that, and they will not create their marketing for months. I've had some people, I mean, I've literally had people like, I do not know how, I cannot make a bio about myself. So that is one of the very first things I use to help people is going in here, and I'll just read you a few of them. So, I mean, I used it last week, so I haven't used it today, but I basically said, tell me who you are as an agent. And this person was like, well, I have lived in Salt Lake my whole life. I really love being in the outdoors, love my dogs, love hiking. And so I just said, create a real estate bio with a realtor in Salt Lake City, Utah, who loves the outdoors, loves her family, loves dogs, and loves to hike. And the drafts were amazing. So it gave me a lot of stuff. I won't read the whole thing to you. But my point is it comes through with 1, 2, 3, came through with like 4 different paragraphs, 5 different paragraphs, which is a huge bio. I don't think we need it to be that big. So then I went back and I told it to shorten it up, put it into 2 paragraphs. So the point of review and improve is definitely review it. As we mentioned, don't ever copy paste, but review it. And if you don't like it, tell it to do something different. You can literally tell it exactly what it is you're looking for and what it is you want to do. So that's how you're going to improve it. You can put in more keywords, giving it more of like what Elise was saying, like make this sound more like me. So give it a lot of different things to until you get it to where exactly you want it to be. So pick an AI language model. So, okay, so here are some of the other ones. I knew there were other ones. So we have ChatGPT, ChatGPT 3.5 or GPT 4.0, which we talked about those, and then Bard. This one's being built by Google. So none of these are what we talked about tonight. So Bard, the one is being built by Google. It will try to make Google search results easier to understand by summarizing them conversationally, not out yet. Okay, that's why we haven't heard of it.
I think Bard is Gemini.
Oh, it is. So maybe they just changed the name when they put it out.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And I'm not sure when this playbook was made, but I don't think it's very old. And then Cloud, another text conversation program trying to be more helpful, honest, and careful compared to ChatGPT. Newer, still being tested. Developers are currently working and making add-on programs to give ChatGPT more abilities like checking facts better. These plugins will make it more advanced. So these are things that are coming. So it sounds like ChatGPT really is just one of the best ones to start using right now. And then create your prompt. So just getting into this a little bit more, a prompt is a question or statement that you provide to the language model. Think of it like posing a question to a knowledgeable friend. There's 3 main components to think about as you begin to write the prompts. So tell the AI exactly who you are speaking to or writing for so that it can tailor its response to that audience. Set the tone and style. So define the tone, formal or casual, and the style, descriptive, lighthearted, or persuasive, that you want the response. So those are a couple keywords that you can be using as you are creating these. And then proper formatting. If you want specific information, specific formatting, you should mention that as well. This may mean telling it what you're creating, explaining how long you want it to be, or if you want bullet points and numbering. So we kind of talked about that already. Just telling it, 5 paragraphs are too long, drop it to 2. So here's a couple examples of prompts. So those of you that are using it, see what you think about these. So poor prompt is write me a postcard. So what's wrong with that? What's wrong with the write me a postcard?
About what?
Yeah, we don't know what it's about. What else? Just so vague, right? Like yeah. So write me a postcard. So a better prompt would be write me a 3 to 4 sentence postcard about real estate. I think that's probably like poor, good, and how could we even make that better? To me, I still feel like that's not even as specific as it could be. Postcard about real estate, where or what kind of real estate? You can definitely add to that even better prompt. Ryan, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I like to use captivating a lot of the time if it's like a marketing email or something like that, because then it'll use like better hooks to get people's attention, and we'll give you more strategies on that instead of just being a boring informational.
Love it. Love it. So great prompt. So I'm a real estate agent and want to write a postcard for my clients who I have sold homes to. So very specific. I want my postcard to be humorous and conversational, yet professional and lighthearted. And make it 3 to 4 sentences long. It should contain one interesting fact about residential real estate in Austin, Texas. So very specific, and should have a call to action for them to call me on my cell phone if they want additional help. So that is so specific. So it would be fun. I don't know if this is actually going to give us, I don't think it is, but try this. Try it out and put that in as a prompt and see what you get. It will be very interesting to see what comes up. So your prompt should be clear and to the point. The more specific you are, the more relevant the response will be. So just pro tip on here, many of the AI-driven systems of today are very conversational. If you don't like the response it provides, tell it to try again, ask another question, or ask the same question in another way. And then reviewing and improving. So in their book, Rebooting AI, so if you're interested in AI, this might be a good book recommendation. Rebooting AI, Gary Marcus and Ernest Davis said, even with all the progress, in many ways, machines are still no match for people. So hopefully that always stays that way, right? So we still have jobs at the end of the day. Reviewing and improving the AI work product to make sure it's understanding the context, getting the facts right, and adding in those little details that humans will notice is still 100% necessary. So today, much of AI gives you a great place to start and saves you a ton of thinking, formatting, and preparation time. Think of it like it's starting on third base at each inning. Now that you understand what all the pieces of the process are, below is a diagram that shows you how it works together. So this really helped me kind of think through what is actually happening. So it is pulling in data. So it's pulling in data from the internet, books, scientific journals, news, forums, tech manuals, etc. And then it's putting it into that model that you're looking for to create the output of content, answers, conversations, etc. So I feel like when it comes to real estate, if we're not on board and we're not using this, and I think mostly like the bio is the big one that I use, and then also for listing remarks, so those marketing remarks, it's a big one. So I can tell you right now, going through the MLS, who's using this and who's not, which means your clients can tell too. And your clients may not know that we're using ChatGPT, but you can definitely see that the remarks are better than others. So that's where I feel like it's super important to, get creative on this, kind of buy into this a little bit, especially when it comes to marketing. You're gonna say something?
Our software.
I can always tell when
No,
people
sorry.
I got something to say. No, I love it.
Our software, when you do a property profile, it has an AI feature and it'll pull remarks based off that area.
Really?
So you don't have to, tell it what area you're in, what city, it'll pull that, and then you can copy and paste and edit.
So what system is this? This is on
Our
the
Yep.
the app that we're using,
Well,
or better on the desktop?
it's on the desktop. Yeah, you go in there, create a property profile for your property, and then you has an AI feature, and it pulls it up, and you can edit
Awesome.
it. Yep.
We need you to come teach this again.
Great.
I know we've had you guys show us. Has everybody sat down with Real Advantage Title to see their software? I'm gonna plug that really quick. I gotta know.
Maybe we get one of these.
Yes, let's do a Monday mastery. Let's get you on the schedule.
Okay.
But in the meantime, until we can get him on the schedule, or somebody from Real Advantage on the schedule to teach us more about their software, because I'm sure it's changing all the time too.
Yep.
Like I learned it months ago, and I'm sure it's changed. So in the meantime, go sit down with them. Go sit down with Marcel or Liz, and they will go through this and teach you how it works. But they have some really cool tools, and apparently AI is integrated in that too. So go learn that. Okay, So connecting all to other AI tools. So I already mentioned Zoom is a big one that has AI in it. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but like your phone is connected in that now. It gives you thumbs up. It's here to stay, sadly. So you're going to start seeing this in all of it. So like I said, it's integrated into our tools here with Command, Zoom, Google, email. You're just going to see it everywhere. I saw it in my social media posting. It's in the title stuff. So just know that that's a lot of our tools are going to be connected into AI. The model may seem simple, and that's because it is right now. AI is forever evolving, and this playbook gives you several plug and play options as they stand today in the pages that follow. So this is really going to help you drafting content. I won't read all of this to you, but I definitely will send it to you. But this is just giving you some good examples of how to draft some content. So again, identify the audience, set the tone and style, and include proper formatting. So here's some, I'm a real estate agent seeking to position myself as the trusted local market expert by writing an engaging newsletter or social post for my Louisville, Kentucky contacts. So obviously you're going to make it specific to you. Set the tone and style, establish my credibility as preferred source for local real estate insights. Make the information digestible and interesting for readers. Keep myself top of mind. Motivate contacts to reach out to me for current real estate needs. And then using proper formatting, include 2 to 3 recent, says 2023, statistics, illustrating meaningful trends in the Louisville market. Explain concisely how each stat impacts buyers, sellers, and investors. Highlight 1 to 2 new buzzworthy local attractions, restaurants, developments that connect with readers. Use an advisory conversational tone. Close with a clear call to action to get in touch for real estate needs. The focus is positioning your expertise, engaging the reader, and prompting contacts to see you as their go-to real estate advisor in Louisville. I just want to know who has ever come up with all of this on their own when they're talking about themselves. I know that we know to get specific, like identifying the audience. I think we could have come up with that, like, oh, hey, I want to be, that trusted expert in my local area in Salt Lake City, Utah. That is probably about as far as we would get on our own. But I'm just curious if anybody has gotten much more specific when it comes to their marketing or how you did that. Maybe hiring a marketing person. You can get to more of that. So this is just awesome. So like talking about newsletter, blog posts, social media posts. So really think about how you can do that, how you can use this in your marketing to get past just, hey, I'm a real estate agent in your local market. I'd love to help you. How else can we add to that? And you're going to see it. You're going to see other people who use it and other people who don't. And you can just really see the difference. So listing descriptions, that's the one I use it most for. So you can tell it here, I'm writing a property description about this potential home. Use vivid emotional language. I think that's such a good prompt. Help buyers envision living in the home, focusing on the highlighting. So when I'm doing it, I do a lot of this proper formatting. So I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home located in Sandy, Utah, built in. So I'm basically just reading the description of the property into ChatGPT. And it produces the most amazing results. So, and again, if I don't like something, I do it again, or I start to copy and paste from each paragraph and kind of create my own. So listing descriptions are huge. And then I think another really good one is the video scripts. So Ryan mentioned scripts, which is something a lot of us haven't really thought of, but video scripts. So when we go to make a video, I feel like a lot of people kind of get stuck on, I don't know what to say. I'm not quite sure what to say. I tell people lean on Cross Country Mortgage and their videos because they know what to say. And I would be curious. I think Ryan is off of here now. But I'd be super curious to know if they use AI on their videos. So they have podcasts. They have a lot of stuff that comes out and it's so much information. I'd be super curious to know if they're using this. But same thing. So identify the audience. I'm a real estate agent. I'm looking for help drafting a video script to establish myself as the trusted expert on our local real estate market in Salt Lake City, Utah. And then set the tone and style. So telling it the goal. The goal is to provide a market update that makes viewers see me as the go-to source for stats, insight, and guidance, whether they are buying, selling, or investing. The tone should be conversational but authoritative. Please aim to showcase my experience and position me as the top local real estate advisor through compelling content. And then proper formatting, please write 2 to 3 minute video scripts. So you can tell it, am I making a 1 minute video? Am I making a 2 minute video? Use 2 to 3 statistics showing meaningful trends in my market. How many of us get stuck in knowing, is the market going up? Is the market going down? What piece of this should I tell the story around? So I love the idea of just 2 to 3 statistics telling me a meaningful trend in my market in South Jordan, Utah. And then letting AI figure out what is that story. Because I think we get hung up a lot on how do I tell the story? How is this impacting them? So the proper formatting in this workbook has really helped me create different content, and I'm hoping that it's going to do the same for you. Pro tip, AI gets it wrong, and it gets it wrong a lot. So you must review and improve everything. So we've talked about that. Don't copy paste. Make sure that you're reviewing it. Talk about conversations. We talked a little bit about that. So again, conversations could be text messages. That's how we used it on Wednesday when somebody said, my clients keep thinking that I'm a robot. How can I change it? And they were, I mean, she said it was like her grandpa or uncle or something.
Yeah,
It was her uncle that was like, stop and remove me from your list. And she's like, I'm your niece. I'm your favorite niece. Why would you do that? And he's like, oh, I just thought you were a spam message. So that was the conversation. How can we make our text not sound like we're a robot? So you could use AI for that. Objection handling. I think that is such a good way. So when somebody tells you, okay, you're good. Thanks for coming. Objection handling. I get asked all the time, and I get copies of people's text messages, and they're like, this person said this. What do you think I should say? And I can give them my expert opinion, my opinion on the actual situation. But putting that into something like an AI or a chat GPT or something that can help you really use data to answer the question. And again, making it sound like you. We don't want to sound like robots. But I think you're going to get a much more comprehensive answer if you're using this when you're objection handling versus, whatever we can come across. And it even says in here, delivered to me in a short and rude way. So you can give them the context of it, and it helps, like, how do we calm that person down that's sending us this rude text, right? So conversations, whether it be on the phone, texting, emails, there's a lot of different ways that you guys could be using this. So, and then number 3, connecting to AI tools. So there's lots of ways you can do this. So set up an automated Google review response. This would be a big one. I have a lot of people that ask about, how do I get reviews? How do I consistently get reviews? So there is in here, that could be one assignment you guys have this week or something you might want to take action on. You can automatically have a system run this through AI to generate reviews. So do a little bit of research there. Virtual meetings, we kind of talked about that. Streamlining social media posting, I think that's a big one. So Hootsuite's been around for a long time. Co-schedule, so really just kind of getting your AI automation set up so that it can help you be more productive. As a couple of you mentioned in the beginning of the call, just helping us get more productive. The world of AI is changing by the day, and we are in the infant stages of the exciting technology. The playbook is a place for you to start saving time and being more productive by using AI as a tool. Today, the key to using AI is to master the art and science of the prompt. So that's going to be your homework this week, is really understanding and remembering as you're asking these, chat GPT or whatever one you're using, identifying your audience, set your tone and style, and using proper formatting. So that's really all that I want you to get doing. So like Gary always says, change is inevitable, participation is optional. So you don't have to participate in this, but it is something that is going to happen, and it's changing every single day. So the quicker we can kind of get on board and use it the way we want it to be used, I think it's going to be better. So, and then I think it's funny that it says here, special thanks to the instructors and ChatGPT 4.0 who helped write the playbook. So it's really just here to help you. How else are you guys using this? So I'm personally using it for bios, and I'm using it for listing and marketing remarks. How else are you guys using it that we can help each other kind of practice? What are some other thoughts that have come to you regarding AI?
I have been using it on my Instagram posts. just saying like, this is what I want to say, and just kind of using what you said. Just like, if you don't like it, you read it and you're like, okay, well, change it and make it say something more along these lines. And then also with AI too, like going in and after you read it and you do like what it says, saying, I like this. And so it'll save it. And so you do create kind of like a, I don't know, I remember it's a machine, so it'll remember like, oh, okay, she liked this, so I'm gonna keep using things like this. And then I did use it for my my bio for the buyers and sellers packet. It was super helpful. I wrote something and just said, make this flow a little bit better. And it made it flow a little bit better. So
I love that. So I'm looking at mine right now. I've used it quite a bit. I started using it about 9 months ago, so I'm no expert, but I definitely use it every single month, and it's mostly been listing remarks. So I'm looking in here. So when it gives me something, so you're saying you go back in and you literally just say, I like this, so that it knows.
yeah, so if you put in say your bio and you didn't like the first thing that it said, just say, I don't like the way this sounds. Even if you just say that, it'll change it. And then if you do like it, saying, I really like this, it'll remember which one you liked, which one you didn't like. Cause I usually will, if it sounds robotic, I'll say, I don't like this, or this sounds robotic, or just saying like those types of words, it'll remember that.
Okay. Such a good tip. I'm going to start doing that because usually I just say it again and then change a few words. So it would be nice for it to know what I'm liking. So
yeah, it's really helpful.
Awesome. What else have you guys been able to find helpful when it comes to AI or using these for real estate? Sounds like Elise is using it a lot for like social media. I'm using it more kind of in terms of marketing. I think Ryan's using it in terms of like those scripting and conversations, which really are the 3 buckets that were in the playbook. But anything else that you guys can think of that you're using it for that would be super helpful. Any action items that you'll take from today that you will do if you're not currently using it? I'm going to start using it for social media a little bit more. So I love that, Elise. And does it always give you the hashtags when you're saying make an Instagram post, or do you have to tell it to give you hashtags?
You just will say, like, if you want something, just say, make this an Instagram caption or make this an Instagram post. And usually it'll use a few emojis and like 2 or 3 hashtags to it. And if you want, you can also ask it like, I want more hashtags for this post. And then it'll give you a few more.
Love it. So that's going to be my takeaway, is using it more for the social media prompts and content. What else? Couple more ahas or action items. Did I change anyone's mind about trying to use it? I got a quiet no over here. It's okay. It's just something, it's a tool. You don't have to use it. One more tool in the toolbox. Cody, were you going to say something?
No, I'll wait. I'll formulate more data before I have an opinion on it.
He's going to put his AI opinion, ask for the opinion from AI.
So
and get back
I guess
to
my
us.
like biggest thing is like, what do you do when you like run into, someone like myself who's like very proud of the fact that like I craft all my words all myself and everything I've ever put out, and then you kind of use that against you in the situation. Like, how do you leverage that? Like when someone's like, yeah, you get me or this fucking robot over here. Like, how do you like, that's kind of my curiosity on this one.
Okay, can I answer that?
Yeah, go for it.
Yes.
I'm super pro this just because of how efficient it is. And I also have a team who I'm trying to like get on board with it as well, is you don't necessarily have to use it word for word. You could, like, if you were like, I don't even know what to say to this, you can type in, what is a good comeback for this? And then you can read it and then form your own opinion, and you can rewrite it your own self. It just kind of helps maybe speed up your thinking process. You don't have to use it word for word. I think that's good about the playbook, how it said you can revise it. But I really like that you can put it in there, it'll tell you something, and maybe not something that you even thought of, and put it in your own words if you're proud to use your own words.
Yeah, I love that. And I also think, you know, and you're really good with content and stuff, Cody. So I think it'd be good when maybe you don't know the right words for a specific content item that you're working on with your content, because you know a lot about it. You're doing the research, you're figuring out what to say. I think this is going to be really helpful when you don't know maybe the product or the information you're about to give somebody, and so you just don't have the time to do the research. You could figure it out very quickly. So with you, and I'm just giving an example, like, you know, you're talking about buying and selling a home, you really know how to do that, you know what to say about it. But if it's something more like building a home, maybe you're not as educated on building a house or something. So I'm being very vague here, but so then you can get information content of the stuff you actually don't know versus the stuff that you do know, I think is how it would be helpful.
Well, I'm just worried that like AI takes away from like the sincerity of the conversation in a sense. You know, that's just like my concern about it. Because there's a lot of older people who really focus on that. I mean, like they're scared of like Skynet taking over in a sense. You know, so you know.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out like what like the rebuttals would be for that, like those situations. Like, I mean, like how do you deal with those kinds of customers? So they're like, hey, I don't want to talk to a robot kind of thing, and just kind of, I don't know, just trying to, I don't know.
Well, this doesn't take away any personal conversations that you're having whatsoever. So I definitely think, you know, we talked about kind of in texting and email using that, and it's really for if you get stumped, you're not quite sure how to respond. But if you're responding in your own authenticity and you're being genuine of who you are and just utilizing some of the words, I think that's awesome. This is not going to take away any of those personal conversations. Like I said, I think, you know, I agree with kind of the three things that they're feeling is really impacting the real estate world, which really is more like objection handling. So if you don't know what to say, this is going to help you come up with what to say. If you already feel comfortable knowing what to say and having that genuine conversation, I agree, it should be you. It should just be your personal, authentic self. It really is helpful when it's things you just don't know. Then you can get the information very quickly.
Most definitely. And like, I guess my last comment would be like, what do you do in this situation when you're caught without your tool? Like, if you get used to this thing doing a lot of your, in a sense, speaking for you, like, what do you do if your tools ever don't work? Like, I mean, kind of a, I don't know. Maybe I'm way overthinking this one, but yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, because we don't exactly know what's yet to come with this. I would say if the tool went away, we all go back to Google like we do now. You know, so I don't know. I mean, if this literally went away tomorrow, we'd just go back and do exactly what we were doing a year ago or 2 years ago. So it's just something, it's really like kind of the marketing and the prospecting. So when we talk about real estate, you have to do both. You have to market and you have to prospect. This is just enhancing what you're already doing. It's not meant to replace it in any way, shape, or form. It's just enhancing what you're already doing. Just like with marketing, it's enhancing your prospecting. You can do a whole bunch of marketing, but if you're not prospecting, the marketing is not going to work. You can do a whole bunch of prospecting, but the marketing, if you're not doing it, it's not showing consistency with the consumer. So you kind of have to do both. I would say this is more of just an enhancement, not a replacement.
It makes sense. I'm just trying to, I don't know, just trying to figure it out. So I guess, you know, thank you.
No, I totally get it. You're not the only one who's like, what the heck? So it's just another tool. Nothing is required. It's just to kind of help. These are the ways that could help you be a little quicker, a little more productive, and find out info that you just don't know. So any other thoughts on kind of what his questions are? I think it's such a good conversation. I want to help answer the questions the way you know, make sure I'm getting your questions answered. Okay.
That was great. Thank you. That was good.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other action items that you guys will be taking from tonight? Would anybody like a copy of the playbook? I can definitely get you a copy of the playbook. Okay, Elise, I will get this over to you.
I'll take one.
Okay, awesome.
I'll take one.
Actually, okay, I actually can, well, I know a lot of you guys are driving, so I won't put it in the chat. I will email it over to you.
Thank you.
Do you have everybody that was in attendance?
There's someone who
iPhone, is that Pravesh? Somebody's on here with just an iPhone. I just want to make sure you get a copy of it.
It's Luke.
Oh, hi, Luke. Okay,
How you doing?
good, good. Sorry, every once in a while we have people pop on and it's just iPhone, so I'm always guessing who that is. So thanks for joining. Luke is one of our newer members to the team, so welcome. And we'll make sure you get a copy of this as well.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, you guys, any other questions? It can be on any topic. I'm here to help. So hopefully you guys all had a great Monday and we're out talking to people and doing things in the real estate world. Any questions that I can help you with on anything before we go?
I have a question. This is like not related to AI, but I want to print out the like buyer's agreement and the seller's agreement.
Yeah.
How, I know that you can find them on the MLS, but I just can't figure that out.
Yeah, let me show you. I'm sure that's not just a question you have. Okay.